Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope your week has started off well. We took a week off last week and now we are back. As you can see, a new guest with me. I have Taylor taking some time out of her very busy day to jump on here with me. So, Taylor, I thank you so much for taking the time to do that. If you've watched the show, you know I kind of follow a loose format every week. So, things that are motivating me, goals that I have for the week ahead, and then a win I'm celebrating from the week before. So, this week is actually a pretty busy week in terms of things that are motivating me, what I'm looking forward to the week ahead. So the biggest thing is opening day for baseball. So if you've been following me, you know, big Phillies fan. I do have the Sunday season ticket, so I'm looking forward to baseball starting back up. Team's been hampered with injuries, so I'll probably be devastated in like 2 weeks. But for now, excitement, season starting, things like that. You also know if you follow my page that wrestling is pretty important to me. So WrestleMania is coming up this weekend. So I usually have a get together with some friends. We watch the 2 nights of the pay-per-view, things like that. So always a big time in my household when it is wrestling season. And the third thing motivating me, it's going to be fun and it's probably going to be chaotic. So Disney on Ice is coming up on Sunday. We are taking my 3-year-old daughter to Disney on Ice. We are going to be going. It's the same day as the opening day of Hershey Park. So that parking lot is going to be a madhouse. So wish me luck on Sunday that
Yeah.
you get in and out within like 2.5 hours. I'll probably be in traffic for most of the day Sunday. So wish me luck on that day. But that's what I'm looking forward to for the week ahead. So in terms of what I'm working on, my goals for the week. So one of the main things is as a recruiter, I don't necessarily get to do this a ton, but our company has recently started up our internship program again. So we are interviewing for summer interns, which has been like a cool new thing that I get to do. So want to focus on that. It's a very different search than I'm used to. So just kind of changing the way I tailor my interviews, going into like different job boards that I'm usually on, just to post and things like that. So getting familiar with that whole process is one of the main goals for me. And then, of course, with the other open positions I have, it's just kind of a cleanup time, spring cleaning, if you will. So I have a lot of different spreadsheets that I use to track my open positions, the candidates that I've spoken to, things like that. So want to make sure that I'm taking care of that, addressing everything, and making sure that I'm staying on top of it. If I need to follow up with candidates, that I have that checklist kind of going in terms of who still needs communication, who's waiting for feedback, things like that, so I can make sure I'm getting all of the candidates who have taken time out of their schedule to speak to me the feedback and answers that they deserve. And then final thing, win from the last week. I was able to close out 2 positions, so very excited about that. I have a few more that I'm hoping to close out this week, but for now, I do have that momentum rolling. I have the closed positions. So that's what's going on in my world. Taylor, what is going on in your world this week?
Well, your motivations were so fun. Um, well, this weekend I am going to a music festival, so I guess that's
Yeah.
motivating me to just stay positive this week and push through and be nice to all my students.
Mhm.
My goals for the week, my goals for the week are just making sure that my kids learn shapes because I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to make sure that they learn their shapes because we do have state testing coming up, and that's going to be like a big part of the math portion.
Mhm.
Aside from here, my other goal is just to make sure I apply to a few jobs this week and try to reach out to people, like actually try to find like hiring managers and maybe owners of the company that I could reach out to on LinkedIn or email or something.
Okay, absolutely. So you and I have been connected for a few months now. We're part of the same group of transitioning teachers. I was a former educator, now recruiter. So, I've had some conversations in the
Mhm.
past as well in terms of what you're looking to get into. So, as you're transitioning into a new career, what stands out to you as the fields that are most interesting to you and ones that you're really hoping to enter into once you take that next step?
Um, okay, so I feel like my answer is filled with a lot of things. I feel like I really define a millennial. Like we just feel like we can do so much and there
Yeah.
are so many options. And there are so many options, but as we know, it's not easy to get into those options. But I went to school for public relations communication. So I'm really interested in social media stuff like social media coordinating, sending out tweets or Facebook posts and doing that whole shebang. I'm also interested in yeah, just that mostly, but in different fields. Like I'm interested in diving into it related to sports or entertainment or fashion in that realm. But through my search, I've found out that it's kind of hard. And I also recently sparked an interest in wanting to be like a radio host or something, but
Okay.
that's just another dream added on.
Okay, sure. So a lot of stuff in terms of what you're looking into that's communication based, and of course, any teacher knows communication is one of the main skills that you develop. You're in front of 30, sometimes more, sometimes less, very harsh critics on a daily basis. So
Yeah.
your communication has to be on key. So beyond just that, because I'm sure you have that down pat at this point, what are some other things that you as an educator you feel you've developed that would make you transitioning into a career in communication an easy one for you?
Well, here I have to do a lot of data collecting. I feel like because I also do like some social media stuff freelance. So I have that as well. But, I'm doing a lot of data collecting. I have to reach out to different people to get help. I feel like in communications roles, you do have to speak to a lot of people outside of your main network. And that's kind of what I have to do here. Um, those are like the main things I feel like correlate,
Okay.
and just planning and scheduling. A lot of planning and scheduling go on as a teacher, and I have to do that as well in those positions.
For sure, for sure. So how do you feel that as a teacher that your interests now in communication, how do you feel that your background in education has kind of piqued your interest about that? Is it working with kids and seeing how important social media is to the younger generations too that kind of got you into that, or was it something else that you really found as like your niche in terms of social media?
Well, fun fact, I did not have any plans on being a teacher. Like I said, I didn't go to school to be a teacher. It was just when I graduated school, I got a job in a school. Like it was the first place to hire me, and then they're like, "Oh, like you ever thought about being a teacher?" And I'm like, no, but nobody else is hiring me for what I want to do, so I'll
Mhm.
just try this. And I'm realizing like it takes a special kind of person to be a teacher. And yes, I'm special, but not this. Like, this is not what I want to do. And when I became a teacher this year, it was kind of like a settling thing. Like, I was like, you know what? I'll just do this since it's in front of me. I get summers off, holidays off, but I'm realizing that I can't just settle. Like, I can't be unhappy. And it's very stressful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So throughout your search, you've been networking a lot. If people are connected
Mm-hmm.
with, or hopefully they will connect with you after watching, your video here, and they can see that you're very active on LinkedIn and other forms of social
Mm-hmm.
media beyond that. So with that, the network that you build is kind of one of the main things people rely on when they're taking that next step. So have you found that to be the case? Has networking through those social media sites been very important for you in terms of confirming that this is the right next step for you?
Um, yeah, I believe so. Like, even outside of like networking on LinkedIn, just when I had like internships doing it, I was able to speak to people who were doing like the type of roles that I wanted to do and find out if it was something I was actually interested in. And on LinkedIn, seeing I do try to make sure I follow like people who are doing like social media coordinating or communication specialists and all that type of stuff, just to see what type of stuff they're posting and seeing. Because some people on LinkedIn, they'll tell you about their stressful day, and I want to see that. Like, I want to see what type of stuff they're going through at their job, and like just compare and contrast and see if that's something that like I want to switch out for. And I've decided it is, but yeah.
Sure, sure, absolutely. So being as active as you are, and you've been reaching out to people, you've asked for support, for advice, things like that. So this far, I mean, I'm sure you've seen other people who are kind of in the same situation. They're looking to transition into something new. You alluded to it, that very competitive in the communications field in general. So
Mm-hmm.
what's some advice that you've received at this point in terms of your transition that you feel would be beneficial for other people to hear as well?
Um, I'll be honest. I feel like the the advice that I've gotten has been like pretty like surface level,
Okay.
and I'm pretty like on LinkedIn. I've gone like viral, and that's why I have so many connections. But like my connections haven't really help me out in any type of way, honestly. I mean, I get people like telling me the type of roles I should try to go for and this, that, and the third, but it doesn't really help me because since I don't have any professional experience outside of internships with what I'm trying to do, the advice that I'm being given doesn't help because the jobs don't want me,
Mhm.
basically.
Okay,
So it's like I can't do much
gotcha. Okay,
even with that advice.
so in that regard, then, what advice for you specifically? What's worked for you since you're not getting that advice? What would you tell other people that are in the same boat as you to kind of expect as they're starting their search for something new?
I would really say network, but you have to start early. Like I feel like it's something I should have started a while ago. Like even if you're young and you're in college, even starting from there, like internships, and going to what are those things called? Like mixers and all that type of stuff, and meeting people. Because just like the in meeting people on LinkedIn, like it can help and it does help some people. I just haven't been that lucky, but it does help some. It's just a lot of people are probably reaching out to this person or that person because they see that they have some type of connection to something and they can only reply back to so many people.
Right, right, absolutely, absolutely. So, Taylor, thank you again so much for jumping on here with me. If you're watching this and you have some advice that would assist with a search in the communications industry or something close to that, feel free to connect with Taylor, give her that advice or help her out. Otherwise, we hope you have a great week ahead. If you have any
Thank you.
type of feedback for us, feel free to give it to us. Otherwise, we'll see you next Monday.